Okay, so some of you here have had me in class, and you know that I like to ask questions, and I especially like to ask questions that I don't know the answer to. And I'm here to learn like the rest of you. So on your table is there's two series of questions. There's a series of questions that your facilitators have, and here's an alternative set of questions. Seems in the spirit of the event. You can take this sheet home, discuss it with your, in the streets, with your friends, family, relatives. Thankfully, Thanksgiving's over. You won't discuss it there. I'm just going to read through these questions, and I'm going to join you all at the tables when we have time. And they're questions that I really think, in some ways, are simple at first glance, but as you dig into them, they get increasingly difficult. And I don't know the answers to many of these, so I'm going to walk through them. So there's not enough sheets for everyone at the table. That's intentional. That means you can share. It also seems in the spirit of the event to sort of look over people's shoulders, introduce yourselves. So the first question, number one. What are the core values of the Occupy movement? And here's one statement we have. Does a statement from the New York City General Assembly capture the principles and method? And their statement says, Occupy Wall Street is an otherwise unaffiliated group of concerned citizens like you and me come together around one organizing principle. That principle, we will not remain passive as formally democratic institutions become the means of enforcing the will of only 1% to 2% of the population who control the magnitude of American wealth. And then they continue, and this is more about their methods. Occupy Wall Street is an exercise in direct democracy. We feel we can no longer make our voices heard as we watch our votes for change usher in the same old power structure time and time again. Since, and this deserves emphasis, we can no longer trust our elected representatives to represent us rather than their large donors, we are creating a microcosm of what democracy really looks like. We do this to inspire one another to speak up. It is a reminder to our representatives and the moneyed interests that direct them. We, the people, still know our power. The second question. Responding to those who claim that the Occupy movement is too vague, Cornel West says this: it is impossible to translate the issue of the greed of Wall Street into one demand or two demands. We're talking about a democratic awakening. And my question is West right about this, or is this just another abstract, aggrandizing, vague statement that's not very helpful? Number three, does the Occupy movement target individual people, like the bankers, collectives, like corporations, laws? One in particular that's gotten a lot of attention, laws allowing former government regulators to work for the corporations they once regulated, or structures, like the structural inequalities of capitalism. I think a lot rests on our answer to that question, and maybe all of the above. Should one use different methods if attempting to transform a person, a group, a set of laws, or a structure? Number four. What should be done to personally embody the core values of the Occupy movement? Number five. Some worry that the recent focus on the conflict between protesters and police, so the pepper spray meme is the most famous now, has become a sensationalist distraction, diverting attention and energy away from the focus on economic equality. Is this distraction, the problem of distraction, a serious concern? How should it be addressed? How should it be addressed in particular in this campus in coming weeks? Are there issues, number six, for example, excessive corporate influence in politics, on which the right and left can find common ground? How should this be done? Number seven, are there issues central to the Occupy movement? For example, the issue that Alex just spoke so eloquently of regarding state funding at UNH, on which students, faculty, alumni, police, administrators, unions, and legislators can work together. I was half expecting when the budget cuts to the UNH were announced, I was half expecting the student body to start walking down Route 4 until they got to Concord. And they sort of realized the response overwhelmingly was, wow, I'm gonna have to take out more loans. And it was accepted in a way that was surprisingly disempowered to me. How should this common ground be found? What should be done? Number 8, as the occupied camps are closed and winter approaches, what should happen next? Will the movement fade away? How will it be viewed 10 years from now? Number 9, how can you undertake activist work given your responsibilities? All of us are very busy. It's in some ways a miracle that there's so many people here right now. How much sacrifice is enough? Can one go too far advocating for such beliefs? What are the limits? And number 10, given that much of the Occupy campaign emphasizes the disparities between the wealthiest 1% and the other 99% of people in the United States, what should we make of the fact that most of us at this university, in this room, are in the top 1 to 2% of the world's wealthiest people? It would be a strange irony if the outcome was that Americans ended up, via the Occupy Wall Street movement, sharing a bigger piece of the pie of colossal American wealth, while global inequality went unaddressed. So those 10 questions are the ones that I'm sort of focusing on right now. For those of you who discuss these, have the luxury of discussing them in your classes, in the streets, in your dorm rooms, I'm always available by email to discuss these things. I hope to see you in many of my classes. These are difficult questions, and I look forward to discussing them with you all later tonight. And now I want to welcome our ally in this, Paul Dean from UNH campus, please.